Welcome back to another episode of Blood Feud Radio, brought to you by Huge Pop Entertainment. And always, it's a pleasure to have Rhys back sitting next to me, and we're going to talk old school wrestling today.
Hell
we're going to
yeah.
talk Wrestlemainas 21 through 42. We're going to really kind of get after this today.
We're going to break it down, as the act would say.
Break it down.
Yeah.
So, me. So, we took last week off. We had a couple things that we had to deal with.
I was ill. I was pretty much ill. You can peel back the curtain. I had bad stomach problems, dude. I don't mind telling the audience that. That was my bad.
Well, no, I was going to keep it professional.
Yeah, professional, boring. No, come on now.
we're not keeping it kayfabe today. We're diving right into it.
No.
WrestleMania 21. I'll let you kick this one off because I think ours is going to be a little bit different. And
okay, you want my best part of WrestleMania 21 or my worst part?
We can start with the good.
We'll start with the good, okay. Well, I'm going to say the best part of WrestleMania 21, I was very tempted to say the very first Money in the Bank ladder match, which is still one of the best ever. But we got to shout out HBK versus Shawn Michaels, man. Like,
HBK versus himself?
You what, sorry?
You said HBK versus Shawn Michaels. I was like, wait a second, what?
Wait, did I? Oh, God.
Yeah.
HBK versus Kurt Angle, should I say. Oh, God, imagine that. Shawn Michaels versus Shawn Michaels. That's a dream match in itself. But no, yeah. Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. The fact that this match was not a 5-star match by Dave is ridiculous. Uncle Dave. But, like, unbelievable that this isn't a 5-star. But this is one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Iconic. Everyone remembers this over even the two main events. So maybe this should have main evented. This was like the Rock and Hogan of this WrestleMania. It was fantastic. But what's your favorite part of WrestleMania 21, dude?
Well, it was the inaugural Money in the Bank. It started a tradition that still should be standing. I am an advocate for making Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. I don't think it needs its own pay-per-view, but that's a different story for a different time. Edge, one of my top 10 guys of all time, Edge won the first one. You know, he became Mr. Money in the not Mr. Money in the Bank, but he became Mr. Opportunist. The ultimate opportunist began at WrestleMania 21, and I loved it.
It did. What a great match as well. Like,
it was. It had Jericho, Shelton Benjamin, Benoit, Christian. Tyson. With Tyson Tomko and Kane.
Yeah, hell yeah! Like, and not just because it was like the best winner, like one of the best winners, like one of the perfect choices to win. But the spots in that match, like, you got to give a special shout out to Benjamin, like running up the ladder, clotheslining Jericho. The T-bone suplex that he did off the top of the ladder, which was fantastic. The spot in the match where everyone takes a dive to the outside, including Kane. Shout out to that. Yeah, like just a great match all in all, and a perfect way to start off Money in the Bank.
And to do it the day after his least favorite day of the year.
I know, and I mean, I'm still afraid to say it. So, happy May 18th and 3/4 day for yesterday to everybody. If everyone was celebrating
Yeah. Yeah.
it, yeah. Your worst part, good sir. What is your worst part of WrestleMania 21?
Aki Bono versus the Big Show.
Yay!
If you don't have that as your worst part, you can see yourself out of the chat because it's just bad.
So bad. Again, like on my short list of good moments, by the way, I had all like the Hollywood references, like like the Braveheart reference, the Gladiator reference, like you talking to me. That
talking to me.
Yeah. In the Few Good Men reference with Cena and JBL, that was great as well. But without a shadow of a doubt, the worst part, I didn't even have to do a short list for the worst part. It is Akibono versus the Big Show. I don't need to see Big Show in a thong. I don't need to see Akibono in anything because I don't watch sumo wrestling. I just didn't see the point in this match whatsoever. So yeah, I'm glad we agree on that.
So moving on to WrestleMania 22. We'll fast forward. We'll start with the bad. What is your bad?
Do you know, this is very hard for me to critique anything really about WrestleMania 22. As you might know, this is my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
That's why I let you do your bad first.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Candice Michelle lingerie pillow fight bullshit, like before the main event. That's like the only downside because this pay-per-view is seriously underrated in terms of matches. But that is like the down bit, and I feel by 2006 we were slowly phasing out of this type of wrestling, and we didn't really need it. Like it was a Playboy pillow fight lingerie. There was a bed in the ring, okay? So that was the worst part of WrestleMania 22.
Again, our worst parts are equals.
Yeah. What's your best part then? I'm curious because there was a lot of highlights in this.
I went with the main event, Cena and Triple H.
Okay. I mean, it's a fair shout. It's a very fair shout.
That match, Cena was already doing this, right? He was already ascending into greatness, but that's the moment that Vince strapped the rocket to his back and sent him in the next stratosphere.
Oh yeah.
To take out Triple H, for Vince to give him the nod and say, "Okay, this is your show now."
They had him tap out Triple H as well.
Yeah.
Don't forget. Yeah.
So
I agree with that, and I think it was a very, very good match. Speaking of Vince, that's my highlight WrestleMania 22. I'm going to go with the no holds barred match with Shawn Michaels. That is low key one of my favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. I think it's really entertaining, and like love Vince or hate him, he was never afraid of taking a beating if it drew money. And that match was fantastic. Like I think that's probably Vince McMahon's best match. And it's one of Shawn Michaels' best WrestleMania matches, which is saying something.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably my number 2.
Yeah, like the elbow off the ladder through a trash can, through a table onto Vince, like fair play. Like Vince. So that is. I mean, that's a brutal spot to take if you're the boss. You don't have to put yourself in that position, but he did. So yeah, that like the no holds barred match. But there's so many great moments on this. Obviously, you had Ray's world title victory. You had the Money in the Bank ladder match with RVD winning it, which was a great Money in the Bank. Even JBL versus Benoit, that was a great US title match. Mickie James versus Trish. Up to that point, probably the best women's match at WrestleMania. Yeah, WrestleMania 22 is seriously, I think it's slept on, in my opinion, WrestleMania 22.
And that's the next one, number 23, WrestleMania 23, is, in my opinion, one of the more underrated cards.
Okay, well, with that being said, what's your downside of WrestleMania 23 then?
The downside, and just take it all away, I'm not a huge guy that likes a lot of celebrity involvement.
Yeah.
So when you have Donald Trump involved and Vince McMahon involved in his capacity, the hair versus hair match, the billionaire's hair versus hair match, I thought that was just dumb. We all knew Vince was getting his head shaved. I mean, that was no secret because Donald Trump's toupee wouldn't allow that.
Yeah.
I just didn't. It was 13 minutes to garbage.
I tend to agree with that. All the points that you've just said. I just want to throw on top of that as well. I understand that like this is like a pretty big deal for Umaga, obviously being aligned with Vince. Like it did his character wonders, but I feel like it was a very step down for Umaga, seeing as though he was feuding with Cena like 2 months before in an amazing last man standing match. I think Umaga could have really been given something better to do at WrestleMania 23. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this either. This was my downside. I understand like the big deal why it was done, like the money aspect of it, like the to get eyes on the product. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this either. I just thought it was a little bit flat.
Yeah. What's your favorite part? I guess the best part.
This is difficult because it really comes down to the two main events, and I think I'm gonna go with Cena versus Michaels. It's very close between that and Taker and Batista, but Cena versus Michaels, I think. Even into his later years, Michaels continuing to show why he's Mr. WrestleMania, how he can literally work with anyone, and him and Cena have great chemistry together. If you look at the stuff that they did before WrestleMania 23, the stuff they did after WrestleMania 23, the chemistry that these two had was very unlikely, in my opinion. But they always work super good together.
Okay.
I'm curious
Mine is it has to do with someone who hails from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
Weighing in tonight at a freaking astonishing 235 and 1/2 pound. He is the winner of the Money in the Bank. No, never mind. Mr. Anderson, Mr. Kennedy winning the. Hey. Now, anyone who knows me and knows anything about the show, I still am a huge Mr. Kennedy fan, and for just his aura. It just sucks that he wasn't able to use the Money in the Bank and become the next big thing like Edge did, and like others and after him did.
I agree with that.
I think that if he was allowed to, and if he wouldn't have made the decisions he made later on down the road, I think we'd be sitting here talking about a multi-time WWE champion.
I think it really also as well came down to just an unfortunate set of circumstances because I think they misdiagnosed an injury, if I'm not wrong. They thought it was more serious than it was, which is why I had to give up the Money in the Bank. So that's a big shame to me. But yeah, the Mr. Kennedy is a story in WWE of what could have been, which is a disservice to him, to be honest, because like the stuff that he did in TNA was great, like the stuff that he's done since has been great. In WWE, it just screams missed opportunity, and not all of it was his fault. So that it's even harder to take.
Yeah, and that's like you mentioned his stuff that he did in TNA. I loved the whole Anderson and Anderson's assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, his fans were Anderson's assholes, or because I remember the promo that he did when he was getting ready to fight Jeff Hardy, and he goes, Jeff Hardy's got the creatures of the night, while I have Anderson's asshole.
I like the fact that he was able to work multiple spots on the card. I think he was very talented, and that was mainly down to his charisma and his mic ability. I mean, that's not to diminish his skill in the ring, not without a shadow of a doubt. But his charisma and his natural mic abilities was so good. It was great. And if you happen to be watching this, Mr. Anderson, then I'm also a big fan of you, and I wish you'd been WWE champion.
Next up, we have WrestleMania 24.
See, right. So WrestleMania 24 is a very mixed bag, I think.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the WrestleMania where Kid Rock performed with all of like the divas coming out with him? Is that the one?
Hold on.
Because that was awful for starters. That was dog shit. And then was this also the one with when Maria and Ashley grinded up on Snoop Dogg? I can't remember if that was the one. So I've been trying to think about what my worst part of WrestleMania 24 is.
I have two things.
That's what I mean. Like, there's a bunch of things that are coming to mind, and I can't put my finger. WrestleMania 24 is difficult to pick.
My two would be the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match.
That's one I'm thinking of.
That was just a shit show. And my second one would probably be Floyd Money Mayweather defeating the Big Show.
Really? Oh, okay. I mean,
I did not like that.
I think up until we had like a Logan Paul and a Bad Bunny, I think that's the best celebrity match that we've had.
I don't like Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
I am just totally anti Floyd Mayweather, and don't come at me. People like if you watch this later on, I just don't like him. I think he was a fighter in an era that he didn't fight anybody when they were in their prime. He would get these guys later on in their prime, duck a guy like Manny Pacquiao. I don't want to turn this into a boxing thing. He ducked Manny Pacquiao for years when Manny was at the top of his game, and then fight Manny at the end of his career when he was all beat up and old and not ready. So it was just, all right, yeah, you're undefeated, but you didn't fight anyone at the top of their career. And you beat it. Well, the Big Slow. I mean, come on. So, no, I just wasn't into it. I didn't like it then, and I still don't like it now. But
That's fine.
the Playboy Bunny Mania Lumberjill match was definitely number one, followed by that monstrosity.
So I'm going to go with the Playboy one as well because that's the first thing that comes to mind, and I just think it's dog shit. For the best, I'm going to go, and it's an easy answer. I'm going to go with Edge versus The Undertaker. I think this really got like after Batista versus Taker at WrestleMania 23, which was amazing. I truly believe this is one of the matches that really set off a run for The Undertaker of fantastic WrestleMania matches. You had this Batista last year, and then obviously 25, 26, and next. Like I really did like Edge versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 24.
I have a 3-way tie for my number one, and this is
Oh, that's very dubious of you, Matt. I need a definitive answer. 3-way tie. What's that about?
Okay, so I'll start with C. Like there's okay. Okay, how about is it okay if I have a tie? Not 3, but there's 2. There's two moments that
I'll let you have it. All right, I'm fine. I'll let you have it. I'll let you have a tie.
the B one, which is a very close second, Randy Orton, Triple H, John Cena. I thought that was very well done.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised that's there. Like, to be honest, but okay.
I'm a Randy Orton guy. I love Randy Orton. I love Triple H, and John Cena's the modern day greatest of all time, right? So it's just a recipe for success. Okay. But my number one is I love you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
HBK, Ric Flair. Ric Flair retiring for the first time.
Yeah, 100%.
It was such an emotional match. It took you here, brought you here, and then took you back here, and then brought you back down again. It was such a.
And when he waits for him to get back up, and he looks at him, and just goes, "I'm sorry, I love you," and then just kicks him in the face.
Yeah,
it's just, it's so good. It's so good.
And that shows you why. It shows you why Shawn Michaels. It shows you why Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania.
That Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair is the only good match you ever put on.
What a joke!
Right, so no, that's fair. I went for Taker Edge. You went for Michaels Flair. 100% understandable. Now, as we go into WrestleMania 25, I'm just going to quickly say my two, and I'd be very surprised if you don't completely agree with the best and the worst. So I'm going to very easily say the worst part of WrestleMania 25 was Santino Marella winning the Battle Royal, and the best part is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah?
My honorable mention is CM Punk winning the second time in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, there's no secret I'm a Punk fan. So that's my number 2 because Punker's been my guy. Pepsi Phil, whatever. Say what you want about Punk. I love him. I've loved him since he was threatening Dominic Mysterio on episodes of SmackDown. You know, singing "Happy Birthday" to his little sister, like all that kind of stuff. I love it.
Yeah. And that Money in the Bank match was really good as well. But when it comes to that WrestleMania, like I feel like it's very clear. Like The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels is probably the greatest WrestleMania match of all time. And the worst is Santino Marella winning a 25 years of women's wrestling battle royal, which is just a joke. So I think WrestleMania 25 doesn't even need a long discussion.
The only other match that I would put in the same discussion for worst would be that Jericho defeating the Legends. I thought that was absolutely garbage.
But I can't give that a worse though, because Ricky Steamboat killed it in that match.
Ricky Steamboat's the only reason that you should watch that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so good. He's really
Well,
good in
it was
that
great.
match.
It was good until Mickey Rourke got involved.
No, fuck Mickey Rourke. He's a racist piece of shit.
It was good until he got involved.
Yeah. WrestleMania 26. Best part. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
I mean,
come on. What are we doing here? WrestleMania 26, the worst part.
I'll say my worst part.
Okay.
Brett versus McMahon. Thought that was dog shit.
Oh God. Yes. I forgot that was at this one.
I thought that was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, and it didn't need to fucking happen, right? What was it at WrestleMania 26?
Yes.
Right, okay. So, because if it is, then yeah, that's mine as well. Because yeah, fuck that match. It went on for way too long, and it was just stupid. So
11 minutes. That's 10 minutes too long.
It felt like
It felt like a half hour.
Yeah, it felt like such a long time because it was the entire Hart family just beating on Vince. Like, okay.
Well, one of the most underrated and underappreciated matches, I think, is Cody and Ted DiBiase Jr. taking on Randy Orton. I thought that was that was an interesting match. It was the explosion of Legacy.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the Legacy guys should have won, not Randy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Randy's gonna Randy, I suppose. Vince is gonna be like, yeah, Cody Rhodes is going over, and Randy's like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
That does not work for me at all.
Yeah. WrestleMania 27.
27 for me was again, and it's a
dog shit.
It was a mixed bag.
Oh God, this show was dog shit, brother. Oh my God.
The worst, without question. We talked about this on the phone call yesterday.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole. But that was awful.
Yeah.
Didn't need to happen.
No. And if it did need to happen, why was it like 40 minutes long? Jesus Christ. Like why was it so long?
14 minutes.
Oh, sorry. It must have just felt like 40 minutes in my head.
It took all the entirety of night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like every single match of night 2 of WrestleMania could have fit in that match. Oh my God, it was awful. None of it needed to happen. I'm inclined to agree with you and say that was the worst part. And do you know what? The shame is the best part of that night was Triple H versus The Undertaker.
That was the next match right after Cole and Lawler.
And do you know what? And I know this might be controversial. I don't really like that match, and I can't really put my finger on exactly why. I don't know why I don't like it. I think it's so slow. Like it's a good
Triple
match.
H?
Yeah.
That was a no holds barred match too.
I know, and it's weird for me to say that because obviously I'd say from like WrestleMania 23 up until 29 is like the golden age for Undertaker WrestleMania matches. 27 for me is a good match, but is easily the worst out of them matches. I think it's just, I just think the pacing of it is, I don't know. I like I said, I can't put my finger on why I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Now,
but it is the best part of the Mania.
See, I enjoyed Edge versus Del Rio. I agree with you that Triple H Taker was the best match of the night, but I enjoyed Edge versus Del Rio, especially when Edge just beats the shit out of that $1 million fucking Mercedes or whatever, the Rolls Royce. And then I think one of the more underrated matches on the card was Cody versus Ray. I think those two guys, they did a very good job. They told a great story. That was when it was undashing Cody Rhodes because remember Ray had broke his nose.
Yeah. Like that was one of Cody's best gimmicks. I really love that gimmick. It was super cool. Yeah.
And fuck Dwayne, by the way.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson ruined the main event.
WrestleMania 27 is literally just an advertisement for WrestleMania 28, and it was just he took so long to do everything that year. Like everything
ruined.
He ruined. Yeah. WrestleMania 28.
Yeah, let's get on with the once in a lifetime for the first time.
Yeah. WrestleMania 28.
Once in a lifetime for the first time.
Was this the best part of that WrestleMania, do you think? It's a strong candidate.
No, I refuse to put The Rock over in this situation.
Okay.
I felt Undertaker, Triple H, and Hell in a Cell was so much better.
Oh, easily. Yeah. I think it's probably Triple H's best WrestleMania match.
I would even put Punk Jericho over Rock Cena.
Solid. Absolutely solid, that match. I agree.
So yeah, I just don't. The Rock Cena went 30 minutes, and that was 20 minutes too long.
Okay. I mean,
I didn't. Dwayne, at this point, Dwayne was doing what Brock Lesnar is going to start doing, just showing up and expecting to win. You know what I mean? Like,
Dwayne?
Dwayne?
Yeah.
But yeah, Triple H Taker, that is most definitely the shining star of the night.
Easily. It's one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Michaels had so much to that match as well, by the way. Like as the referee, like his reaction when he super kicks Taker into the pedigree, and then Taker still kicks out, and he's in the corner like that. Like it's so good. It's just the storytelling in that match is fantastic. It is the best part. The worst part is it's hard for WrestleMania 20 because again, this is like another pay-per-view which is only really built on like 2, maybe 3 matches, and the rest are pretty rubbish.
My bad one is the 12-man tag match.
Is that the one with tons of funk in it?
The teams are Team Johnny, which is David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Jack Swagger, Mark Henry, and The Miz, with John Laurinaitis and Brie Bella, with John Laurinaitis, Brie Bella, and Vicky Guerrero in their corner. Defeated Team Teddy, Booker T, Kofi Kingston, The Great Khali, R-Truth, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder, with Teddy Long, Ascana, Eve Torres, Hornswoggle, and Nikki Bella in their corner.
Oh, God. You know
this was Vince's way of saying, hold on, I got to throw as many stars out at the ring as I can, and hopefully something happens.
And also a way of telling the fans, oh, yeah, by the way, we're not doing anything with Zack Ryder, so shut the fuck up about it.
And this was also the first year we didn't have a Money in the Bank.
Yes. Was this 2011?
No, this is 2012. So the last one was the first without one.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I'm just gonna go with that 12-person tag match. Yeah, because the beautiful Eve Torres kicking Zack Ryder in the balls, like, pretty much sums up what I think of this match. I felt like I was constantly just getting kicked in the nuts. Yeah. While I was watching it. So. Yeah. Do it, lady. Yeah, literally, do it, lady. Boink. WrestleMania 29.
29.
I mean, I'm just going to say mine real quick. The worst part is the Rock Cena Part 2 because the Rock gets seriously injured like 2 minutes into the match and it hinders the entire match and shortens it.
Good.
Yeah. And the best one is Undertaker versus CM Punk. That's my favorite match.
I'm gonna say Cena Dwayne is worse. This was one, in my opinion, that from start to finish, it was just like this year's Mania. Very underwhelming.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
It felt like it could have been on Backlash.
Backlash.
So just real quick, like the Shield made their WrestleMania debut.
Yeah.
For this one. But you had Fandango, Fan Dipshit, Fan Doofus,
Fan Donkey, Fan Dong,
Fan Dunghole.
Fan Donghole. Is this where he beat Jericho?
Yes, CB Jericho.
That's insane to think about. Fandango beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. Former WrestleMania main eventer, former versus HBK, beaten by Fandango. And that's nothing against Johnny Curtis, by the way. I think Johnny Curtis is one of the most underrated wrestlers of this generation. They did nothing with him that he deserved way more in WWE. But there's levels to this shit. Come on now.
Taker Punk is 1A for me. As far as, but 1B, I really liked Triple H Brock Lesnar.
Okay, I mean that's a fair shout. That is a fair shout. By the way, you've used your one tie of the podcast. I'm not letting you have any ties. So is your answer CM Punk versus The Undertaker?
Yes, we got.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's his swan song. That's Punk's swan song for the first time for WWE. That's when he, not too long after that, he goes on his break.
Yeah, because he didn't appear at WrestleMania 30. He left after the Rumble, right? So the next year. So yeah.
Yeah, because
right? That was right. Yeah.
Oh, he left before the Rumble. I thought.
Oh no! I remember him getting eliminated in a Rumble, and I think it was the 2014 one, and it was when he had that staph infection, that big spot on his back. I think Kane eliminated him.
Thanks to Ryback, that sack of shit.
Oh god. Yeah. Well, he's doing TikTok lives now, so we all end up where we should be, I suppose.
Yeah. Fucking Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, you talk about swan songs. I think this was probably The Undertaker's last good match at WrestleMania.
Unfortunately, it is, yeah.
Aside from the cinematic match with AJ, I don't know if you can count that. I actually quite like that match, but I don't know if you can count it in terms of like a match. So yeah, I think this is The Undertaker's last good match at WrestleMania, which is sad to say because he went on to have like 6 more.
This WrestleMania actually wasn't bad start to finish. 30 was a pretty solid all show from start to finish. It had 8 matches.
Yeah.
And it told stories. Everything told a story with WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna say the worst part, we were just talking about it, was Lesnar versus Taker, and I'm not saying that because of the result. I don't mind that Brock broke the streak. I've gone on record and said I really don't mind that Lesnar was the one to break the streak. That does not bother me in the slightest. I just don't like the match. And the reason why I don't like the match is because of obviously Undertaker sustained that concussion very early on. and they probably wasn't able to tell the story that they wanted to. Because I mean, later on that year, they had a great Hell in a Cell match. We know that Lesnar and Taker can put on great matches because we previously saw that in Brock's first run. It was just really unfortunate that Taker got injured. So yeah, that unfortunately this was without a doubt the worst match on the card. I think
it's
disappointing. And that's why I think it's the worst bit. It's just disappointing.
Yeah. That's got to be the number one. A close second would be the Cesaro winning that Battle Royal. I'm not it's like they were looking for something to take the place of the ladder match. Why not just have your ladder match, get your high spots? I love ladder match. I love Money in the Bank ladder matches. I just don't feel like they should have their own pay-per-view. That's where I'm at with that.
I agree. I agree.
Because there's 31 guys in there, and that's actually something I want to look at here. Yoshitatsu, Brad Maddox, Brodus Clay, The Great Khali, Zack Ryder, Darren Young, Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, Heath Slater, Mark Henry, Titus O'Neil, The Miz. Think about that. The Miz main evented 3 years prior, and he's in a Battle Royal in the mid card.
Yeah.
Santino Marella, Xavier Woods before the New Day. Yeah, was that pre-New Day? Yeah.
I think it was. I think the New Day was formed after WrestleMania. So yeah, after WrestleMania 30.
Damian Sandow, Justin Gabriel, David Otunga, Big E, Fandango, R-Truth, Sin Cara, Tyson Kidd, Goldust, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus, and The Big Show.
Throwing it out there, like there's at least 6 or 7 WrestleMania main eventers in that Battle Royal.
I mean, it was. I just don't like the Battle Royals. I'm a Royal Rumble guy, but it's just not. It's hard to follow when you have all 31 guys starting at the same time. There's just too much going on.
Yeah, it's a clusterfuck. Like most of it is people just in the corner, just going like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Taker Lesnar, just because Taker got concussed so early, it's got to be it.
It's just sad. It's sad the way it ended. Best part for me is I'm gonna say I preferred Daniel Bryan versus Triple H than the main event. I mean, I'm not a big Daniel Bryan fan, but I prefer the initial Daniel Bryan versus Triple H bit at the beginning. That's my pick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking a match. I'm just taking the whole yes movement would be the best. Because, like, I hope that's okay to do, Rhys. It's not necessarily a tie, but it's just
fine.
The whole yes movement, like, both of them together, just... I prefer the yes movement over Kofi Mania, if that makes sense. Like, I would much rather watch Daniel Bryan go through the gauntlet he went through than what Kofi had to endure. Like I just felt that the yes movement was so much better.
I mean that's fine. That's your opinion. I'm the opposite of that. But I can understand why people didn't like did like the yes movement. I was never a fan of it. I was never on board with it. I always was on Triple H's side and Stephanie's, where they were like, "You're a B+ player," and I was like, "I mean, yeah, it kind of is. All he does is say yes." Like, I didn't get it. I understand. I didn't understand it at all. I always thought Daniel Bryan was a better heel than a face. I preferred him as a heel.
I loved his interaction with Kane. I think that's why I'm such I like Daniel Bryan so much. He's like, no.
Yeah. I say I like Team Hell No. and I liked him as a heel. I just didn't like him as a face. He bored me. He just bored me. I don't know how else to say it apart from he bored me. Like literally what you're doing right now. Like that's how I feel whenever I used to watch Daniel Bryan.
I mean that's fair.
WrestleMania 31. I'm gonna go with a moment here as well. I don't necessarily give a shit about most of this card, no offense. But my favorite moment of WrestleMania 31 is the RKO spot in the Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. That is unbelievable. It might be the best RKO of all time. That's nothing to take away from the match that they had, or the cash in that he did later that night, or like Roman versus Brock, because that was a solid match, or the ladder match, or Rusev versus Cena. I understand that there's a lot of things on this card that was good, but it's Cena, it's Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, like the RKO spot and the story behind it that they wasn't able to hit it during the training, and then they actually hit it perfectly in the match. And Randy Orton's reaction when he hit the RKO was actually real because he didn't think he'd be able to hit it, and then he had to be reminded to cover Seth. So yeah, I'm going to go with the RKO spot.
You stole mine. I'm a Randy guy too. I love Randy Orton. The only other RKO that can touch this one is the one he did to Evan Bourne.
Yeah, that one's great as well. Yeah,
that's really the only other one that compares. The heist of the century, yeah, to me it's overrated.
Okay, right, yeah.
It was definitely one of the biggest WrestleMania moments of all time. Don't get me wrong. It's like, okay. I don't know if it's because we've been conditioned to everyone just oogling over it and just treating it like it's the hottest girl on the block. It was a good match. It was a great moment. But I kind of wish they would have just let Roman beat Lesnar. Have it. It does. I don't know, but either way, Seth Rollins has turned into an injury-prone schmuck at times. Because if he stays healthy, there's nobody better on this planet than Seth Rollins.
He's a new version of Mr. WrestleMania.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. But his injuries have really, really done him dirty.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Worst part of this WrestleMania was Triple H and Sting.
Yes. I mean, very, very similar to you. I was just going to go with WWE's consistent need to shit on WCW. Like, dude, it closed 14 years ago. You won. Like, can we let it go?
You own them now.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Can we let it go? Like, Sting literally stayed away from your company for 14 years because he was afraid that this was going to happen, and then you proved him right by doing it anyway for no reason at all. Yeah. Why did the NWO come out and help Sting? I don't understand. What? Just so stupid. So stupid. I don't know. So that is my answer. Like, WWE's treatment of Sting at WrestleMania 31 is the worst part. The WrestleMania 32.
Okay. I will say this about 32. This felt honestly like the longest WrestleMania in the history of WrestleMania.
Yeah. I mean, because it sucked. Because I really thought I didn't like this one.
Jericho AJ was a solid match. I liked the moment that Zack Ryder had by winning the Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match. So shocking, I know. I like ladder matches.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite stipulation. That was my answer for the best bit, by the way. The ladder match. I really enjoyed the ladder match. I think it's solid.
Taker Shane was okay.
Oof. That was a hard watch.
Again, Baron Corbin winning a 20-man. Like, I would say the worst is Baron Corbin's 20-man Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
See, I'm a Corbin guy, so I love Corbin. So I can't in good consciousness pick that.
But they do have The Rock versus the Wyatts in 6 seconds. They have that listed as a match.
Yeah, I mean that was going to be my pick for the worst, just because of how long that segment goes on for. My God, like from him coming out to burning the letters, like the Rock letters, to like go into the ring, doing the promo, doing the announcement of how many people were there. Jesus H Christ! I don't know how long that was, but God damn it! Like that is the worst part of WrestleMania 32, and it just felt like a slog. So that's my answer. The best part was the ladder match. The worst part was the Rock segment.
Yeah, I'll roll with you on that one. We'll make it a clean sweep on that.
Yeah. WrestleMania 33. Again,
33.
a mixed bag. Arguably, you could say that Dean Ambrose versus Corbin for the IC title should have been on the main card. But the best part of this was, for me, it was Shane McMahon versus AJ Styles. This was a great match. Okay. It was the first match of the night. I really enjoyed it. I really love the atmosphere of WrestleMania 33. I thought the soundtrack was great. I thought the stage was fantastic. I know that the Hardys returning. Is that going to be yours?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be. It was a very close for me between the Hardys returning, which I totally get why you would pick, and AJ versus Shane. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go with AJ versus Shane, but everyone remembers where they were when the Hardys returned at WrestleMania 33.
Yeah. And anyone who knows or watched this show in the past knows I don't hate Jeff Hardy. I think he's the less talented version. He's the Marty Jannetty of the Hardy Boys. That's a joke. And he has no way. I mean, they both do suffer from alcoholism at times.
Oh, I knew he was going to say
that. No, when you look at that match from start to from top to bottom, the Hardys, you had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Cesaro and Sheamus and Enzo and Cass. I mean, come on, that's entertainment. Look, that is a very good, and it's a ladder match.
Yep, surprise.
Come on, it's a ladder match. You have to love it.
Yeah, for real.
The worst, with number one with a absolute bullet. This is the only time I'm going to say a John Cena match is the worst match on the card. I love the storyline. I love the vignettes leading into it. With The Miz making fun of Cena and Nikki. Loved it. But the match was trash, and then he pops the question because Hogan must pose, Cena must propose.
Hooray!
Hooray! Hooray!
I wonder who got to keep that engagement ring once he split up. I wonder if Nikki kept it.
Probably came up from a Cracker Jack box knowing Cena how cheap he is.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to say Undertaker versus Roman Reigns. But I'm going to go with you on that. That was going to be mine. The tag team match, the mixed tag, Maurice and Miz versus Cena and Nikki.
It was in Orlando. This was all in Orlando. He said Orlando! Hooray! I'm from there.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. Yeah, 33 is remembered for this. Had a lot of down moments, to be honest. Was that also the year that no, it wasn't. It wasn't. I think that's next year. WrestleMania 33 was 2017, right?
Notification.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was that. Like the one.
Go to the guide to open.
Oh.
April 8th of 18 was WrestleMania 34.
Oh wow, was it?
Yeah. 2018 was 34, so 2017 was 33.
Right, okay. Yeah, right, okay. Right. Easy ones for WrestleMania 34 then.
Yeah.
I mean, you take your pick from WrestleMania 34, let's be honest. What is the worst?
I know mine.
I'm going to go with Asuka versus Charlotte.
For your worst. Wow.
Yeah. There is no argument you can tell me, and believe me, there are people out there. There is no argument that you can tell me where you can explain that Asuka should have lost that match. Not just lose, tap out to Charlotte. That's how Asuka's undefeated first ever Royal Rumble winner streak ends. There is no argument that makes sense.
The only thing that I can say, and it's not an argument, but I can give you a reason why, it's to put the younger talent over, because Charlotte was that, we're going to strap a racket to your back and send you to the moon. That's the only reason I can give you why they would do it. I don't agree with it.
Such a bullshit. Like if that's the backstage decision, though, it's such bullshit. Because at that time, Charlotte was already like on top. She was the woman to beat. She was 2 years into a run. She'd won the inaugural Women's Championship at WrestleMania 32, which, by the way, could have been the best bit because WrestleMania 32 had that great triple threat match. But Asuka was the hottest talent from NXT Black and Gold. She had come up and she had an amazing reputation. Nobody's ready for Asuka. First ever Women's Royal Rumble winner. Wow. You tap her out. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. I will accept no argument as to why Charlotte should have won that match. Apart from Charlotte must pose brother fucking Charlotte Hogan in 2018. Ridiculous. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And I'm not. I don't accept that's what. Do you like people like die on a certain hill? That is my hill to die on. That, like, there is no feasible reason why Charlotte should win that match.
Okay. My worst part was Taker Cena.
Yeah, that's another great option.
I hate that. It's one of those things. Just let the horse lie. You know, I mean, let the dead horse die. It's Taker should have told Vince, "Fuck you, no, I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
You know, like, no, let me be.
Taker should have said, either you give us a good 10 minutes or I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah. For it to last 2 minutes and 45 seconds, it's dumb. Absolutely rubbish.
Stupid. And I appreciate you using like the British slang there. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'll use an American phrase back to you. It's like total garbage.
Yeah.
So I can't. Do you know what? I can't even think of anything at WrestleMania 34 that I enjoyed. Like maybe the triple threat. Is that the Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz? Is that year for the IC title?
Yeah, that was match 1 on the card.
Yeah, I'm going to say that one then, because that was a great match. And then WrestleMania 34 was dog water, dude. You had Brock and Roman in the main event, which was shit. You had that match, what you've just said, which was shit. You had Asuka versus Charlotte, which was shit. And you had AJ Nakamura, which, my God, how do you make those guys have a bad match? Like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, how did that happen?
Oh, I forgot. This is also Braun Strowman and Nicholas winning the tag team titles.
Dude, WrestleMania 34 is easily one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. There are so many awful, rubbish moments. By the way, they beat the Bar, which, in my opinion, one of the most underrated tag teams of the 2010s. They beat the Bar for the tag title.
You know what? Just because I'm reading through these lists, it's Rollins defeated The Miz and Finn Balor with a close second, Mahal, Orton, Rude, and Rusev in a fatal four-way for the U.S. title. This is one of the first WrestleManias that the mid-card championships had better matches than your main titles did.
Yep. Dude, the whole show went downhill, even further downhill, and continued to flop. It was a rubbish WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then we got WrestleMania 35, which was about 17 million years. I think WrestleMania 35 somewhere is still going on.
It's going on just like Curtis Axel's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I don't think WrestleMania 35 ever ended. I think it's still happening somewhere. I think it's one of those fixed points in time, like you see in the sci-fi shows like Doctor Who, where like WrestleMania 35 is always going on at some point in time. It was the longest, but you know, take into account of like us loyal British wrestling fans, where the card started, you had a pre-show, and then you had the main card that ended at like 5:30 in the morning.
16 matches long.
Oh god, it was so hard to watch.
The best moment of the night, it's got to be the triple threat match. It's got to be the main event.
Oh, really? I was going to say Kofi Mania. I love Kofi Mania.
And quite honestly, like I forgot that this was Kofi Mania because the three women at the end of the three women at the end stole the show. And Kofi Mania took place. Where did that take place?
It was like halfway through, I think.
Match 10 out of 18. They used. It just blows my mind that they put the WWE Championship match essentially in the middle of the card.
Yeah, dude, it was unbelievable. Like I say, it was so long. I remember where I was when WrestleMania 35 was going on, and that was in a perpetual state of I need to go to bed. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I'm not the biggest fan of the main event of WrestleMania 35. And I know that's a controversial thing to say, but I love the fact, I love it for him that the women main evented, but just because of the sheer length of time that card was, it was incredibly hindered. The crowd were dead because they were all tired, and the ending was botched as well. And I just think it just went on for way too long. Like Kofi Mania is my high point, and my low point is the running time. That is my low point. The running time of WrestleMania 35. It was just dog shit. It was dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, the runtime. I'll agree with you on that. Just the runtime, because the matches weren't horrible. It's just, and I think this is where WWE finally says, you know what, maybe we should do this on 2 nights.
Yeah, for real. Like some of the matches were so short as well for no reason. Like I feel like I'm pretty sure this was the WrestleMania where you had the Bludgeon Brothers, the New Day, and the Usos, and it was like 5 minutes long, and it should have been great. That match should have been fantastic.
Well, that was 5 minutes in ring, but then you have the fucking entrances that last about 15 minutes in and of itself.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
And this is the last Mania of one night Manias.
thank God for that. Unfortunately, it was followed up by WrestleMania 36, which was in front of nobody.
Oh my god.
Which immediately, by the way, is my down. It was in front of nobody. And it's not WWE's fault, it's nobody's fault, but having an empty arena to perform in front of, it was awful.
So do we want to break the going forward from because we're in WrestleMania 36? The next 6, do we want to break it down by night? Best of night 1 and worst of night 1, and then
Nah. I think we can carry on the way we're doing. Just because, like I say, because like we might as well just treat it as one card because it is technically one card. So we'll keep it how it is. But
my down for that, I'm going to agree with you with the whole time thing. It was in front of nobody. It just sucked.
Yeah. With a very close second being Edge versus Orton. Jesus Christ, that went on for too long.
My very close second is Firefly Funhouse match. I do not want to argue this. I thought that was absolutely bullshit. I don't like that match.
That's fair. I mean, that's understandable.
I just don't like it. I thought it was too hokey. It just wasn't. It was entertaining at times, but it wasn't a WrestleMania wrestling match that I wanted to see.
Yeah,
you look back at night 1, the main event was Taker Styles in the Boneyard match. That is the best cinematic match to ever take place.
I agree. And that's my high point. That is my high point of WrestleMania 36. I thought it was really, really cool.
Now, was Orton Edge, was that last man standing one?
He was either the last man standing or falls count anywhere or whatever. And it was hindered by the fact that there was no crowd and the fact that it went on for ages.
Actually, let me see how long that one went.
I just want to give a quick shout out, by the way.
36 minutes.
Yes, that is ridiculous. No, thank you. Fuck that. No. I want to give a quick shout out because we're talking about best bits. My second best bit is the uniqueness of the tag team ladder match where they just had one person from each tag team. I just thought that was pretty cool. That just sticks in my head. Obviously, we're missing out the obvious one of, Drew McIntyre finally winning the championship. But again, it was just in front of no one, and I felt sorry for him.
Unfortunately for Drew, his moment wasn't being able to be an actual WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, I just felt sorry for him. Yeah, I felt sorry for him.
My shout out is Kevin Owens doing that swanton off the WrestleMania logo.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for real. WrestleMania 37.
We come back to live television, live people. We're in front of a crowd at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida.
Now, question, because I'm pretty sure it is. This is my worst bit. Was this the WrestleMania that it was delayed because it rained?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my worst bit.
Smell a Joe in a poncho.
Yeah. That's hilarious. So we'll always have that. Very, very funny. However, again, I'm just going to lean on my British excuse here. Delaying the start of that pay-per-view, God, that hurts the English crowd. Because obviously we're already staying up late. So, yeah, that was the worst bit of WrestleMania 37.
I'm gonna go with a match on the card for night 2. Vince must really love being a racist because a Nigerian drum fight.
Yeah. Apollo versus Big E.
Yeah, why did it need to be that? I don't like stipulations when you have a guy like Apollo Crews, who's very talented in ring, can put on a match for the IC championship against Big E. There's no reason to have a stipulation.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
But let's throw a Nigerian drum in the mix and call it good. Because they're both black.
Yeah. And
No.
Apollo Crews like putting on a Nigerian accent.
Apollo Crews was from Macon, Georgia, here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He's from the States. He's not even foreign.
I mean, I know they're not doing any better with Obafemi because obviously he has a very strong American accent as well. But yeah.
Well, he's a Nigerian god.
Yeah. The best bit for me, and again, just to double check, is this the Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair WrestleMania?
Let me double check.
Check that for me. I think that was.
Yep, they main evented night one.
Yes, one of the best women's WrestleMania matches of all time. It was fantastic. Probably my favorite, or one of my favorite Sasha Banks matches. I'm not a fan of Sasha Banks, but that match was really, really, really good. Really set Bianca Belair up as a main eventer. So yeah, that's my high point of WrestleMania 37.
This kills me to stay because I really, as a fan of the Rated R Superstar, I wanted Edge to win that match. But Roman Reigns starting his ascend to greatness, his ascend to tribal chiefdom here at this WrestleMania, he started his reign of terror.
Goddamn right he did. And what did he do, man? And what did he do? He smashed him, he stacked him, and he pinned them both. Like what a beast thing to do that was. Pin them both at the same time.
That defined that WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Was the start of the OTC.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. And the only reason I went for Sasha versus Bianca is because I think it is in the argument, and it might be. I know this this is a very sweeping statement. That I think that in my opinion might be the best women's match at WrestleMania ever, and I think it's definitely in the conversation.
That's fair.
Yeah.
38 rolls around.
38 is one of the most underrated WrestleManias. I love WrestleMania 38. I think there is so many good spots at 38. But, and this was the capital B, Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. Like we all knew it was going to happen, but at the same time we all thought maybe it won't. And then when it did, hell yes, Austin versus Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. That is the best bit. I love it so much.
That's your best?
Yeah, that's my best.
My best was Cody Rhodes making his return.
That's fair.
Cody, because he was the guy no one thought was ever going to come back to the WWE. He had his AEW. Like he created a new franchise. He was the face of the franchise.
Yeah. The American Nightmare, baby.
And then he shows up in Dallas, Texas, wants to wrestle Seth Rollins.
And smashes it as well. That was a really good match.
That was a hell of a match.
It was. Special shout out to...
My bad one was McMahon versus Pat McAfee. I thought that was absolute trash.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Do you know what saved that match? And I had a feeling they was going to do it, but I thought, oh, because he showed up the night before, they might not. When Austin's like glass hit and he came out again and just stunned everybody, so good. Like that's why
Yeah.
WrestleMania 38 was great, because it just felt like a last hurrah, not just to the Attitude Era, but like to the fans, like a nod, like we love you. It felt so genuine because again, we had great matches for the women, for the men. Like we had Sammy versus Knoxville, which was great.
And hold on. We in that Sammy versus Knoxville match, we saw the WrestleMania debut of Mae Young's handbaby grown up.
Yeah, all grown up. Yeah, we haven't seen it since, unfortunately, but we had a great showing at WrestleMania 38.
He's undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. I wonder if that's technically classed as Johnny Knoxville's manager. I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
So bad. WrestleMania 38 downside. Brock versus Roman. Just because I didn't necessarily mind the match, but I just this was for the 15,000th time that they both faced each other, and I was like, okay, that's the only reason really. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Brock versus Roman, just again, no, I'm all right.
39. We're getting close to home. We're getting close to the finish.
We certainly are. What's your
high point?
Oh, are you going to give me a high point first? Okay, go on.
Yeah, I'll give my high point first. My high point, I think, I'm going to say, even though at the time I was very much rooting for Cody to beat Roman, to keep the story going and the momentum, I understand now why it was so great. And we had the debut, the main roster debut of your boy Solo.
Well, he debuted at Clash, but this was
he came out and helped Roman in this match, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he came out and I mean when you say debut, I was there when he debuted at Clash, but yeah, he came out and helped beat Cody at this WrestleMania. I was absolutely buzzing, of course.
So that's my high point, because it allowed Cody to keep telling his story, to keep the chase. And it showed a kink in Roman's armor.
Yeah, that it could be defeated.
Yeah. So that's my high point because I felt that match went for 35 minutes and it had everything. It had ups, it had downs, it had near falls, it had both guys just giving everything, and it had a rubber duck in the middle of the ring right after Cody got beat. So that's my high point for this one. I really felt that was the match of the weekend.
That's fair. I'm going to go with Rhea Charlotte. I'm pretty sure that was this year. That
was a mid-card match on night one.
I know, it's crazy because it was for the world title as well. Rhea Charlotte was a great match, and it's probably the best match that they've had. I really enjoyed this, and the right person won. It was prime Rhea as well, where she was just hitting all gears. I really enjoyed Rhea versus Charlotte. What's your down point of WrestleMania 30?
The two showcase matches.
Oh, is that the tag team ones?
Yeah, the women's one, a fatal 4-way tag match, and then there's the men's on night one. I thought those were stupid. It was just Vince and Triple H or whoever was booking this stuff, throwing as many people out there, to show, like, get everyone on the show, go have fun, and try not to hurt yourself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was my downfall. I didn't enjoy those matches. I thought the only upside for either of those matches was the spot. It showed how good Montez Ford really is. That's the only good thing that came out of those matches.
That's true. That's true. That's a good shout, to be fair. For me, I'm gonna say, I know this is a bit of a sweeping statement. I remember WrestleMania 39, like the atmosphere of the crowd. Like the crowd really took it out for me. Because I remember, I don't know if it was because of the stadium, which I'm pretty sure that is the reason, because obviously open top stadiums have this problem. I remember the crowd being quite quiet, and it affected a lot of the atmosphere for me in certain matches. Like that's going to be my downside for WrestleMania 39.
Okay.
But I know that's, like, again, a bit of a sweeping statement, but it's not their fault. Sometimes it happens in stadiums, like, noise gets, like, just lost. It took me out a lot of matches. Like, there were certain matches where you could really hear the crowd, but most of the night for me, like, it sounded like they were just sat on their elbows.
All right. Well, now we're heading to 40, straight up 40.
WrestleMania 40, baby. Best part is Cody Roman finishing the story. I don't know what else to tell you about that. Yeah, it felt like Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
So good.
I would say that's my high point. A special shout out, Sammy and Gunther. This is before my hatred for Sammy.
Yeah.
That match went 15 and a half minutes, and it felt longer, but in a good way.
Yeah, like you didn't want it to end. Like you're hung on every single minute of it. Yeah. I get that.
My bad match, because I want more from this match than we got, is Jimmy versus Jay.
You literally took the words out of my mouth.
It was a flop.
There are some people in this business who, for some strange reason, don't have chemistry. That you would think they would have a chemistry. Like, for example, Kane and The Undertaker, for me, I've only ever had one good match, and you would think they would have a few good matches. Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams, for some reason, they never have a good match. Now, I would like to see a rematch between Jimmy and Jay, because I think I would like to see if this was just a dud and they can do better on another occasion, or if they fall into that category of people who you would think would have great chemistry together but don't. But yeah, Jimmy and Jay on a WrestleMania 40 was just flat as hell. It was so flat. I agree with that, and that's my pick as well.
WrestleMania 41.
I'm interested to see what your downside of this is. Honestly, because are you going to go for the obvious one, or
there's a lot here that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you, man, right now. And it's not even a specific match; it's one person. Travis Scott is my downside of WrestleMania 41.
Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck Travis Scott. I don't.
The Rock. As a matter of fact, fuck The Rock, because he was supposed to be part of this whole storyline.
Yeah, and then fucked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Travis Scott, I mean, that whole match was kind of bullshit, if I'm being completely honest.
It was, because it felt like he was missing a couple of pieces, and that big piece being the fucking Rock. There was a big rock-sized hole in that match.
Yeah, fuck The Rock.
So yeah, Travis Scott is my downside. My upside for WrestleMania 41 is the triple threat at the start of night 2 between Rhea, Bianca, and Io. That was so good.
My upside was Rollins, Punk, and Reigns.
Can't argue with that.
And then a close second would be the Io, Bianca, Rhea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's again, they're not ties, but there's 1A and 1B. It's
100%. I mean, I feel like the multi-person matches that year really stole the show because you also had that really good match with Braun Breaker defending his IC title as well.
And it brings us to 42. Happened literally a month ago.
Yeah.
Shining moment. Punk, Reigns. The shit moment. Everything else.
The shining moment. The Hulk Hogan documentary. No, I'm joking. Dude, that is genuinely like a massive consideration for my downside. The Hulk Hogan documentary, Jesus H Christ. But like for my whole downside, I'm gonna say the match times. That is my downside. Fuck the match times. Fuck TKO for making WWE do that if that is the case. Fuck them right all the way up to hell because that ruined WrestleMania 42. Ruined WrestleMania 42, and I agree. Roman Reigns and oh my god, and CM Punk, the shining part of them 2 nights. The MVP of the weekend was probably the male dancer that came out with Liv Morgan because who didn't want to be that guy? But apart from that, WrestleMania 42 was dog water. Had nothing to do with any of the wrestlers. I feel very, very bad for them because I'm sure they wanted to do more. They wanted more time to get their stuff in. They weren't able to do that. It was very much proved that they was able to put on better matches because Backlash literally happened like 2 weeks ago, and it was far exceedingly better than anything that WrestleMania did. So yeah, the match times for WrestleMania 42 is the worst. The best part is CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. And with the close second being the show coming to an end. That was the best part as well.
It was one of those. So production would be the downfall. ESPN and TKO bastardized WrestleMania this year and just was horrible.
The only match that should have been considered to go under 10 minutes was over Brock. Everything else should have had a lot more time to it. Ridiculous. But yeah, that WrestleMania 42 is going to go down as one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
It ranks right in there with 9 and the others.
9, 27, 32, 34. It's definitely in there.
So, as we draw this episode to a close, just want to thank all the people who came through and watched. I appreciate you guys. Next week's episode is kind of up in the air. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to talk about, but we'll leave that. Maybe we'll let the people in the comment section from here until I'll give until Monday of next week to give us ideas for the show. If I don't get any ideas, I'll go and search up a list and we'll run the list down.
Yeah, we're gonna run it back with the list. I like that.
We'll run it back with the list.
You're more than welcome to reach out to me or Matt as well, like with any of your ideas. Leave them in the DMs. They're always open.
Yeah, it's Rudy Poo Wrestling over at TikTok. It's game. I think I'm still Game Changers. Whatever. It's the MATT over on TikTok as well. You can leave them in the comments on Facebook on this video, Facebook, YouTube. and I don't know if I can access the comments for Twitch or not. But if my brother can look at that and tell me if anyone's given. That a cheap plug. One last thing. Breaking the Huddle. The Breaking Huddle. The list will return this Friday, where we talk about the top. We give our top 10 small forwards of NBA history. So that should be a fun one. And then we'll be back next week for Blood Feud Radio. So
Hell yeah.
at our normal time. It should be at our normal time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. over there across the pond. And from one member of the TikTok still undisputed tag team champions, the Great Lakes and across the pond, I bid you adieu, and we will see you next week.